Now we're looking at Cam Newton, all the passing plays from this Sunday night classic, I would call it. I mean, just an awesome play here. Byard, I believe, was targeted 9 times in this game, and that was the first one. Also, I want to start here because I mean this play was run all game. This out route here, I don't know what Russell or what Bill Belichick saw, but this out route, or I guess not out route, just a little comeback, or all game. I mean, just watch that from Byard, especially all game long. They beat him on this, and I've never heard of this Byard dude, but I guess he has some speed or whatever the case may be. But it seemed like they got beat on this a lot. I mean, there were 9 targets, 6 receptions from Byard this week.
That's up there in the route tree as far as like difficulty of routes to guard. I mean, that's a tough one to stop. It's just funny because I mean, interception comes off of this route though, so we'll get to that down the line here. Crazy that he gets the ball for the first time with less than 5 minutes in the first quarter. Right.
Good way to start, Cam.
And you love to see that where even
oh
man, I forgot he took that shot there. You love to see Cam playing like old Cam where he's just bodying people, it seems like. And he gets bodied at the end of this, but
nobody's open. Right here, if he looks, he's open down the middle. Why doesn't he throw that there? Oh, he's running. Okay.
I still don't know why he didn't throw that. I don't know.
I just don't think he saw it.
Yeah.
I don't know who would have been on the other side of that. I mean, that's okay. He was able to turn a sack into an incompletion. That's still a positive play, I would say.
This angle will tell us
right here.
Yeah, his eyes aren't there.
He's nowhere near him.
He may glance over and see it, but it's too late. Yeah, I think
he can't throw it there. You can only throw it, the second you get out of that sack, essentially. You'd have to see it and throw it there.
You got Jamal. That's why he gets popped. It's Jamal.
Yeah.
I guess he's just kind of off balance. Okay, that angle looks better. I thought he took a big hit.
Oh, he did. I remember him falling pretty hard. So what are the Seahawks doing against Cam here on 3rd and 7?
So they're it's funny, they're running what the Patriots like to run here. They're, like, everybody's on the same level.
Crowd in the line, yeah.
Cam doesn't have a clear read as to who to block up, who's going to be... You got a clear read on the outside of who's guarding who.
Yeah.
You just got to know which route's going to be a man beater, which route you think's going to come open. But as far as the protection goes, I mean, he's trying to figure it out here.
It's funny because when you're in, we'll see as this game progresses if this proves to be true. But my assumption is when you're facing the Patriots, if, at least offensively or defensively, you're thinking, we're worried about Edelman to an extent, but that's kind of an underneath player. We're not super concerned about 34-year-old Edelman. N'Keal Harry has not proven himself to be a threat, really. So if you have some good corner play, you can afford to be out on an island. Maybe not every single play,
right,
but you can definitely call some plays here and there where you put your corners out on an island and you get a little risky in the middle there, which I don't know if that's what this play is, just looking at it, but it does look like these corners on both sides of the formation are out on an island.
No, you're right. And looking right here before the snap, Cam Newton's probably thinking there's no one in that B gap lined up as a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
So you already got to think that, and he's proven it right here. That defensive tackle is going to come to the B gap. Someone's got to assume that gap responsibility because those B gaps are huge for run defense, anything like that. So the middle of the field is going to be open. That's what I was going to say before this play went.
Yeah,
was that the middle of the field was probably going to be open for this run if he does take off. I can't remember what he does here.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking there pre-snap, if I'm Cam, I'm like, man, they're up in my face. This is guarded, but no one's in that left side, that backside B gap. That means my center is probably going to be open. I may be able to run this ball and get this first down.
Based right now, we guess he runs here. I don't know, but I guess he throws. Oh,
throws
again,
that route.
Another comeback. I told you.
Beautiful throw too.
Yeah, a great throw. He was kind of on him. That happens all game. I'm telling you guys.
You see what I'm saying there with it being so open?
Yeah. Yeah, you take that throw for sure. But you're right. He could have gotten the same amount of yards on the ground, I'm sure. 4th and 3. They go for it. I didn't really see him get a first down there.
So this has been cool to see too, and
that was a hit. So this is the play where Diggs gets ejected.
Yep.
Which it was a bad hit. I mean, you want to take that out of the game.
So I want to look at the line here. The Patriots run a lot of run-pass option now, which is interesting to see because they haven't been able to do that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, look at this. They're running. This is a power read.
Mm-hmm.
So they're running halfback power to the left, and the line's blocking it that way. And Cam's reading that defensive end to the left side of your screen right there. He pulls the ball, and he's actually reading the route behind it. He's reading that inside cutting route against the leverage of the cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
So he sees a pass read, so he pulls it and throws it. Probably could have got the first down running the ball.
God, what a hit!
But they ended up taking out one of the Seahawks playmakers.
So it works out.
But that play comes into they tag it. They run that halfback power read, that run pass option with the guard pulling.
Yeah,
they run it at least like 3 times in this film that we'll probably see.
Yeah, if
they don't hand it off. We only got the passing plays with us here.
It's a lot more. I really enjoy this Cam Newton Patriot offense. I really do. I think it's a lot of fun.
It's cool to see. It's like you're seeing Josh McDaniels, what he wants to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, absolutely. Because, you know that's what he wants to do. Because, this is the guy who drafted Tim Tebow in the first round. Tim Tebow was going to be able to run this type of offense.
Yeah.
And Cam Newton's obviously, Tim Tebow on steroids.
They existed, like run pass options existed back then, but not in the sense of like no huddle, short little running back power slant dart options.
Yeah.
So the game's evolved. Who knows?
It's funny because we argue about Tim Tebow all the time, but I'm always on the other side of the Tim Tebow argument, saying he's a bust and all that. But if he would have been around in this NFL,
oh yeah,
or if he would have come out, in the 2020 draft, God, there's so much that the offenses could have done for him.
This offense right here,
yeah.
If he's running this offense with Josh McDaniels,
yeah.
you're talking probably a career with Josh McDaniels.
Yeah. It's just,
think about Tim Tebow quarterback power on the goal line.
Yeah.
Like they've been running.
Yeah. It would have been ridiculous. It's like you tried to make him a drop back passer, and that's not what he was.
Right.
It's just so unfortunate to see how his career went through with in the NFL anyway.
That's like 90% of the success in the NFL is just where you're drafted and when you're drafted.
Yeah. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes not going to be the same if he doesn't go to the Chiefs.
Right.
I believe Deshaun Watson could probably be better if he doesn't go to the Texans.
Absolutely.
Like stuff like this. And then Cam Newton's probably going to make a lot of money because he went to the Patriots.
So he ends up getting called down here. He goes and celebrates in the back of the end zone.
I remember that, yeah.
They call him back. He snaps the ball with like little to no time left on the play clock to run this quarterback power in here.
And we're setting it up now because obviously we know how this game ends. But the Seahawks really could not stop this play all game, and this is the exact same play that happened at the end of the game. And you're gonna see.
Love these sets, man. I love to see the old mixed with the new. So those old, like 1940s football plays merging with new stuff. So back then, quarterbacks were literally just glorified fullbacks.
Yeah.
And they would run things like this all the time and attach 2 laterals to it. But obviously the game's too fast for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I'm interested to see because, looking at this was obviously dominated. When we get to that final play, what changed?
Go back to it.
Do you want to go back? Yeah, let's do it.
I want to see, and what I was actually going to bring up, you bring up a great point. Look at the Seahawks alignment.
Mm-hmm.
They're not in that, let's see, ABC, they're not in that D gap between that last tackle. So they've got an extra left tackle in.
Talking about right here?
Yeah, so that's the normal left tackle, the extra one, then they got a tight end.
Yeah.
So there's no one in that gap, and they're lined, I believe that's where they get beat, because they're soft on the edges.
Yeah.
And I don't think they were ready because right before this, I believe that tight end was in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, here, I'll just go back here. I'll play through.
Yeah, see, the tight ends in the backfield, they weren't prepared for that set right there.
Yeah.
And that's what gets them beat. I believe they get beat on it again, right? They get another touchdown off this kind of play.
Yeah, they get a touchdown. They get they throw for a touchdown, and then.
And Pete Carroll's not your guy to try something on 3 times, right?
Yeah.
He's not the guy you want to test with that, just like Belichick. So you beat him right here, and he's like, okay. You beat him again. He's like, we got to get someone in that D gap, that new gap that's created.
So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I'm going to mention this, and I hope you'll remind me if I forget to mention it later. The last play of the game reminded me so much of that Super Bowl in the sense that Pete Carroll overthought it. Everyone looks back at that game and is like, why didn't you just run it with beast mode? And I really believe that Belichick was over there like, I'm not going to overthink this. This has worked all game. I'm not going to overthink this play. I'm not going to watch the exact same thing that happened in the Super Bowl happen again here.
Right.
Where they change up the play. And, granted, it was,
No, I agree. McDaniel's sitting there. I mean, it's worked 2 times before, so we're going to throw it at him again.
So a lot of people gave that play shit. I don't.
There's merit to that. If it's working, why stop it? Especially when the game's on the line. Because if you run something different, you're going to get clowned for it.
Yeah.
Let's look at how they block this up. This is that power read. So this is something that a lot of no-huddle college offenses run.
Yeah.
You spread the ball out, or you spread the receivers out, you get the defense in a low numbers box count, and you give the quarterback that option read to the outside.
Yeah. And if the quarterback runs, you have an extra man.
It's blocked like a power. It's run like an inverted veer. It's a cool play. It's nice. It's even cooler to see run out of the pistol. Clemson does that a lot. That's also like the Lamar Jackson special.
Yeah.
So not really sure about that placement.
What was this?
I think he was. I don't know if there was an option to break in or out on this based on this leverage. It could be a thing that Cam's looking for, but it looks like he's trying to throw this route open because he wants to go to it. He says, no, I have nothing open. He's like, there's room for him to come back right now.
Yeah.
So maybe he thinks that he's about to break outside.
Yeah. Which is what, like I said, he does this all game long. So again, come back. But yeah, he you're right. He breaks inside maybe instead of outside.
So what I'm looking at, and if you go back to where he's running the route before he breaks. So receivers, when you're running an option route that's got a hitch or a comeback added to it, you can run inside or outside. So go a little bit further, right there. So his hips, the cornerback's hips are turned towards the field, away from the sideline, right?
Yeah.
You want to break outside on him because it's harder for him to get down on a comeback route towards the sideline with his hips facing the field.
Yeah.
Now, if he was over the top of you and still kind of in a back pedal, which would be impossible to do, and you'd want to break it inside because it's hard for him to get over your shoulders.
Yeah.
But when he breaks, watch this reaction by the cornerback. It's easier for him to get to this ball, even though he doesn't get to it because it's not thrown to the receiver. It's thrown to where Cam thought he was going. It's easier for him to guard that.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot less space there than there's been all game, right?
Yeah.
It's easier for him to guard that in-breaking route. And again, I don't know that if he had that option or if it's just a bad throw by Cam and he thought that it was an outside route called.
Yeah.
Could be any combination of those things.
Yeah.
But I would tend to believe that this was an option at the top of the route and Cam thought it was going outside based on leverage because he's staring it down, throw. And instead it goes inside. I don't know.
Now he got criticized for staring down his reads. I never noticed that watching the game. Like I didn't see that. I'm curious to watch that. It's another kind of storyline we need to pay attention to.
Something with Cam, and it's been that way since the Heisman year. Mm-hmm. He's a see-ball, throw-ball type quarterback where a lot of times you can rely, if you're a safety, you can rely on his head placement to show you where the ball is going to go. Mm-hmm. If we were to sit here and tally this up like I used to have to do working in football, I would have a spreadsheet or a little book here, and I would write down pass play, and I would have tally marks for like looking at receiver and like see how often he looked off safeties. And I don't believe you'd have many plays where he looked off a safety.
Gotcha.
I mean, we pointed out at least twice where Russell Wilson kind of managed the field with his body movement.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But there was much more in the game going on than that. I think Cam is still stuck in that mindset where he's got to be aligned to where he's going to throw the ball.
Well, there he does.
Yeah. He worked down.
Yeah, he just worked through his progressions.
And it's easier to do because all the progression's on the same side of the field, so he doesn't have to move his head. So just think about that. He doesn't have to look backside. He's looking backside pre-snap, decides he's not going to go there, gets ball. Looks, nope, and he's going to go play side progression, boom. So he does a good job. He sees the whole field there. That's a good play. That'd be a good graded eye movement play. His feet were a little stationary, it looked like, but he had a good pocket. So not really much to complain about from a quarterback coach perspective there. And by no means are we saying that Cam's like predictable.
No.
You can kind of see that he's gonna look down the receiver he wants to go to.
Yeah. I just know that was a criticism I saw on Twitter a couple times.
Yeah.
And you never know how much merit it really has because until you really study this.
I think it's valid. Yeah. We'd have to do like an in-depth.
Yeah, you'd have to study more than one game too. I mean, we can't make a final assessment based on.
But that's been a thing it's his career. Like every year they bring that up. Like he's a see-ball, throw-ball quarterback. And
I believe my computer just stalled out when I was recording the game, so we'll just Let's just go over here, skip that play. Bad placement, but that's okay.
Yeah, it was, I remember this was thrown for a 2-yard loss. I don't know. That's one of those ones where, Burkhead's got to catch it. 'Cause he doesn't know where he's at. He doesn't know where he's at on the field.
Yeah.
But if that's like Drew Brees rolling out and throwing that ball, he throws it to his feet just so it's an incompletion.
Which I don't think he didn't catch it. Or he had 1 foot out of bounds in that play.
But how about, while we're talking about him, how about, was it Burkhead?
Burkhead?
Yeah, finding a place like he's...
Are you talking about him finding a place in this offense?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They used him quite well.
Which part of that was the unfortunate news for James White.
Yeah.
Which is, terrible. Thoughts and prayers go out to him.
Yeah, you never want to hear anything like that happening to anybody.
Of course. Which I think that's part of the reason Burkhead got so many carries.
Right.
So how much of a bust is Sony Michel? Where are we at with that? I mean, is this injuries? Granted, we're just watching the offensive play or the.
It's one of those things where it's like, I've talked to you before, off camera about running back snap counts.
Yeah.
And it's like Georgia running backs, you almost want to stay away from them. They're going to run the ball a lot in college.
Yeah.
And that puts wear and tear on the body. And Sony Michel, coming out of college, he was a Gurley 2.0.
Yeah. But really, you look at it, Chubb and Sony Michel kind of split those carries. So I think a lot of people were thinking that wasn't going to be an issue. And, Chubb obviously is awesome. And I know I thought, I don't know what everybody else thought. I know I thought that Sony Michel was going to be the guy to own. Or at least in fantasy and everything. I thought Sony Michel would be an awesome player. The NFL actually was not very high on Nick Chubb coming out. I've since admitted that I was very wrong on that.
Right.
But just
on the surface and great. Oh, it was great until he stopped.
Oh, forgot.
So look at this blitz trigger here. It's an absolutely amazing blitz. Is that Jamal? Until he gets to Burkhead, and then he plays hands on. I understand he's got to contain Cam, but you're faster than Cam. Jamal Adams can catch Cam.
All right. So where are you talking about? Who are you talking about here?
Jamal Adams in the back of the defensive back,
right
secondary. No, top of the screen. There you go. Down safety coming down.
Gotcha.
He comes like a screaming eagle off this side right here. Mm-hmm. And the blitz is going to get there, and then he just engages with Burkhead. Instead of cutting this in, he just...
Oh, he was there.
He plays slap hands.
Also, Cam Newton should have thrown this a little earlier.
Oh, yeah.
This ball should have been out by now.
And it's bad placement, a little late.
Yeah.
That plays on Cam.
Yeah.
And it's probably due to the fact that Jamal Adams was screaming at him.
Yeah.
But I think Jamal Adams gets a sack here if he just... It's hard to say because
Burkhead... He definitely puts a good hit on him. Right here, this ball should have been thrown.
He starts throttling down. Yeah.
Actually, well, I guess right here, because now the corner can't get there. Yeah.
It's a hard angle for Jamal Adams to get in there on, but he starts throttling down, and he just it'll be good from this angle to see. He just starts slowing his feet whenever he comes to Burkhead instead of I don't.
Yeah. Why do you stop?
That engagement.
Yeah, that's strange.
That's not typical of Jamal Adams. Usually he's the spear. You know?
And Jamal Adams was asked to do everything in this game.
Oh,
absolutely everything.
Which, if you go good, I'm asking him to do it because he can do it.
It's funny. It's almost like the Seahawks defense. They really adjusted their entire defense for Jamal Adams.
And there he is right there. Yeah. And see, that blitz, even if you don't get to Cam, this play ends up working out for him because...
It's a great play.
It just happens like that sometimes. Yeah. But this is the intensity you want to see on the last blitz. You want to see him not stop his feet and just get there. Whoop, I'm there. Yeah. You want to see him make the play more times than not, but the blitz's job is to force the quarterback into a throw. They do that, but the throw is not guarded.
They run out of this formation a lot, I feel like. Or they throw out of this formation a lot. Oof.
That's something about having Cam at quarterback and running this Patriots offense. You got to think of ways to...
Yeah. Unique ways to get people open. This should have been... obviously, Edelman doesn't drop many of those. I remember I was very upset because I had a prop bet on how many receptions he gets, and I had 6, and obviously he blew that out of the water. But right there, he only had 2, and I was like, no, I need those easy ones.
Trust me, he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah,
so at this point, I was like, I'm not beating Jacob if Edelman doesn't get the ball more.
It's great because he has a career game, but at this point, he had almost no fancy points and very few targets, really.
And I needed every bit of it that he got, too, because Darren Waller went off for the Raiders last night. And that's such just a placement ball. I mean, heck of a catch.
What are we seeing here?
Cam's looking at the flat. He's looking to see if Edelman's going to come open over top, too, I believe. Yep.
Oh, he does.
So he was looking at that safety, I think.
Jamal Adams got beat here.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, he gets beat in the sense that Edelman gets there and gets the catch. It's this right here, that inside release with very little reroute that's hard to guard. Yeah. Jamal Adams picks him up.
What is his? I mean, I'm guessing because it looks like this corner. He's the guy. He's on this man, and Jamal Adams should have been back in coverage here.
So they're running. You see, like
because he passes it off. I mean,
everybody's eyes are on quarterback, so they're in a zone. What Jamal is looking at is he didn't get any vertical threat to his side of the ball, and I don't believe they're doing a good job communicating. You see, he's starting to turn his head towards Edelman. This speaks to what we were talking about earlier with Cam staring down his receivers. Jamal's able to break on this route back into this zone because Cam is just staring it down for 3 seconds or more. I mean, Jamal's beat by 5 yards there, and then he comes back. It actually ends up being decent coverage when he should have been deeper, like you said.
Yeah.
He should have been deeper aligned, and he should have been dropping, but he had nothing to push him back that far.
Yeah.
I just don't think the defense was communicating well in this play, and I think Cam ended up actually selling Edelman short because he'd have been more open if Jamal didn't know that's where he was going. Yeah. His head was just there.
It's funny because, I mean, we talk about Jamal Adams. He had an awesome game. But right here, like, he probably should have been, a little bit deeper on this play. Again, not a huge critique. Yeah. But we're talking about a guy who's been in this defense for, a couple weeks?
Yeah.
To have such a big role in this defense, he's still learning it.
I'm thinking he probably should have. So where he's at right now at 35, that's probably where he should have been.
Yeah.
And he would have seen the route coming to him.
Yeah, and it would never been open. He would probably have to throw the flat.
It's also a good run route by Edelman to find space. That's what you do with those over routes is you run them between the coverage levels.
Yeah.
And he does a good job of bouncing because they bring Jamal in the box.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to do to ask someone who comes out. He's playing at linebacker depth, and then he opens up. Oh, and you see, go back a little bit.
I gotta go back a little.
Yeah, you're good. Watch him stare at Cam. This is a good play. We can put this in the evidence file for Cam staring down receivers. Watch him watch Cam's eyes. He's looking, he's leaning to the left, Cam's to the left. His body's going to get manipulated by Cam's eyes, and if Cam redirects him, this Edelman is wide open.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He just kind of bump. So Jamal's able to almost get there.
Yeah. Wow.
So we can put that one in the evidence file.
Yeah.
Along with the Teddy Bridgewater throws.
One of those situations where Jamal almost, physical ability makes up for, lack of understanding of the defense because that was supposed to be a little bit of a... Right. He's supposed to be a little bit farther back in the
And when you're not playing Cam Newton, he may make that pick or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Bringing him. Look at that blitz. Boom. I love it. I want to see him 10 snaps a game in the backfield.
Adams might be Defensive Player of the Year. It's just ridiculous. Because they use him everywhere. It's just crazy.
I've got one bugaboo with this game, and it was that one play he slowed down against Rex Burkhead.
Yeah.
But other than that, his blitzes, man, are just... They're what you want to see. You teach a blitz a certain way.
Yeah.
And to every defensive coordinator, their blitzes are kind of like their special sauce, And you want their players to do it in a certain way.
That was actually kind of a bad throw.
Yeah.
Threw it to the wrong side of him. Which, again, minor thing, but... So much space.
Yeah, he threw it behind him. And it's pretty interesting there. Jamal, at the beginning of that play, look at his little fake he does there. He does a little walk down. He does, I'm coming.
He's just fucking with him. He's trying head games.
Trying to be in the head all game long. I love it.
That's awesome.
That's what you got to see.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to sound like an entire like I'm a homer for Jamal Adams or something. But
man, I've been a fan of Jamal Adams since the draft, and I remember, I'm not obviously a Titans fan like you are, but I was so mad when they passed on Jamal Adams for Corey Davis. Yeah. So mad. One of my biggest complaints about the Titans draft, and they've had great drafts. So I mean, it's tough to complain about where they're at right now.
And right now we're kind of needing him because AJ Brown's dealing with some kind of nagging little injuries, but. And I also love Corey Davis. Great guy, good player. But
imagine having
Jamal Adams on that defense.
One of the best defensive
players. Opposite Kevin Byard, you're talking about safeties unmatched.
Yeah, and I mean, really, they would still they wouldn't have a Dory Jackson because they wouldn't have drafted a corner. They would probably gone wide receiver, and that's because that was the same draft. But they'd still have Malcolm Butler. They probably would have gone corner somewhere else down the line. I mean, that just would have been an incredible defense.
Side note from a Titans fan, Christian Fulton got his first pick this week.
He did.
That's exciting. He looks good, man.
Fulton, man, I was high on him too. I liked him. A lot of people. It was a lot of like love and hate for him.
That was one of the value picks of the draft for me. When we got him, it was the second round.
Yeah.
I mean, God, all right. Yeah. We end up getting probably some point in his career an All-Pro corner.
Yeah. Dude, probably. I mean, I feel like probably goes in the first round if things are different. But I mean, that's an easy thing to say. But I mean, like if he would have finished his career with because he didn't play his full last season, I really feel like he could have put a little bit more on tape. All right, so this is the play. I know we were talking Titans here. Let's get back to what we're doing. All right, so I went back to the N'Keal Harry play. We go right here. Now, listen, like I said at the beginning, they set this play up all game, right? And he's actually lined up inside more than I realized, kind of an obvious out route. So it's a little bit different. Okay, never mind. I guess I'm wrong on that because I thought this was a comeback route. Because I knew he'd been playing comebacks all game. I guess this is an out route. Actually, not really a well-run route either. Very kind of rounds it a little bit.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to see. So, a bunch of different levels here. You want to see any kind of out route like this.
Get back to it here.
You want to see who's that running it? Why am I blanking on names right now? You want to see him plant that right foot at the top of the route.
It's Byard. It's Bird or Byard or something. He's a no-name guy. I didn't know him before this week. I'm not gonna lie.
There, like before the 45-yard line. You want to see him plant.
Yeah, you want to see him plant
and
hard
then stick outside. He rounds it off like you said.
Yeah.
And Cam should see this. Once he breaks out of here, we get a couple seconds further. Like Cam fires. At that point, there's a 5-yard cushion between the two.
Yeah.
But
it's not enough, and then bad ball placement on top of that.
Yeah, bad ball placement. The DB's got eyes on Cam.
Yeah. Here, we'll go back and we'll.
It's just rough.
I'm gonna slow it down just see if we notice anything else. This is obviously his first read. I mean, they were targeting him all game.
Sticks in it, and it'd have been good, especially these out routes like this that you're making up for a receiver running a bad route.
Yeah.
You want to see Cam manipulate the defender somehow.
Yeah.
Because he's definitely looking at Cam. He's got his hips to the sideline.
Which that was the first read. And, like right here, people gave him shit for staring down his receiver. That was kind of a bang, like first read. Like you have to look at the guy you're throwing to. So like I didn't have a problem with that. It was just a bad route and a really bad ball placement. And
it needs to be thrown to the sideline.
On top of the fact that I mean he's been running out routes and comebacks all game.
Yeah,
it's like
general rule of thumb as a quarterback on any route, and especially out routes like that, you want to throw the ball to where the defender has to go through your receiver to get it, not around him.
Yeah.
So you want to put this in front of the receiver to where the cornerback has to go through the back plate.
Yeah.
Of whoever this receiver is.
And you always talk about, the receiver's ability to use your shoulders to block out the corner.
Yep.
And really, I mean, your body placement when the ball's coming. Right there, I mean, there's nothing you can do. Because if this ball's on the other side, the receiver has at least a chance, regardless of the route, at the worst, it's an incompletion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not a good run route, but Cam threw this. That's a Cam pick.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. So I set this whole thing up for that one thing, and I was wrong. I guess I don't know. I don't know why I thought that was a comeback route, but I did. Here we are.
That's all right. You're running off 2 days of memory.
Yeah, right. All right, we're going slow. We got to speed this up back to normal speed.
And see, again, you got these open B gaps, and you got linebackers lined up now, but still.
Ooh.
Boom. Oh, I went insane when he caught this. Even though I was rooting for the Seahawks just because I like Russell Wilson, I like Pete Carroll, I was still rooting for Edelman for my fantasy team, and when he stretched out and got this, I was like, he's still got something in the tank. I don't know what it is about Edelman and these, hard catches.
Yeah. Now, what happened was Jamal Adams beat here again?
Let's go back to that wide view.
Just look at it. I'm just curious because I don't even remember watching this play.
Edelman's at the bottom of what looked like a bunch formation. He moves over and makes a 2x2 outside release. Jamal Adams is stemming.
Adams has that deep.
Yeah, so Edelman stems up the safety here, and what he does is he pushes out towards the numbers to get Adams' hips open, and then when he brings it back inside, so like whenever he starts running from here,
Adams bites and then
breaks it out.
Yep.
That's just a good stem route, and Adams did bite on it.
Just beat him. I mean, it's a corner versus a safety, and I mean, yeah, Adams just ate it. Let's watch it one more time. I'll slow it down. Well, I probably shouldn't slow it down right now.
And not that. Let me preface this with Jamal Adams can guard just about anybody he wants to.
Oh yeah. But just right here, bites and it's over. Really, that's a touchdown if it's put on the numbers. Actually, really, I don't think it would have been. Jamal Adams catches up. Jamal Adams is just faster. You're right.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. It's even when he gets beat like this, what he's great about is recovering from anything. Like we showed earlier, where there was a 5-yard gap. Where he was supposed to be and where he was, and he made up for it in a half a second.
That's just athleticism.
He bites hard there. Edelman should be 10 yards past him. If that's someone like Julio or...
Yeah, it's over. Yeah. Man, it's crazy to think, and maybe I'm overemphasizing his ability, but once... Or maybe I'm overemphasizing his comfort in the scheme. But once he gets really comfortable in this defense, because, I mean, we're still forgetting we're going into week 3, but this is week 2. I mean, no preseason, no nothing. So once he gets comfortable in this defense, how much better he's going to be. Like, he's already insanely good in this defense and what they're doing with him. And, I mean, it's only going to go up. So 1st and 10, ball on the 19, final drive to win the game. We're going to watch this and we're going to finish this up.
And that was a great job there, going through his progression.
Yep.
So there's glimpses in here where he uses the whole field to his advantage.
And again, I mean, we talked about with Jamal Adams. Imagine Cam Newton in week 10, week 11. Once he gets really comfortable in the scheme, once he gets really comfortable with his receivers. I mean, this was such a great game and such a great matchup, and it has the the potential to be even better in a couple weeks in the Super Bowl if they make it there. Really looked like they're trying to give him enough time to make throws down the field.
Yeah, I was just about to talk about they're committing that tight end to block Jamal off the side of the defense there. Jamal Adams is coming for a blitz again. They're really worried about him at this point in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, they're leaving 6 on the block. I would, yeah. Or no, it's 5.
Great catch. The ball's easy to drop, especially when you get the rolling. Good read, good throw, but there when he hits the ground and tumbles around.
Yeah, doesn't have to take a concussion hit for it.
The ball is just...
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really have anywhere to go with it. He just has to push it down the field.
And if he wants to throw that route, I mean, the route comes open for a split second.
Does it?
Whenever because he turns around. I mean, just the fact that the defensive back is on his back.
Yeah.
Tells you that there's a split second where if you throw it inside and low,
there's a chance.
Maybe he makes that catch.
Yeah.
It's a hard throw to make, but you're talking seconds.
This right here won me a good bit of money. I needed 40 rushing yards from Cam Newton, and I was losing my mind when this happened. He gets 10, and I think it was 7 yards left, and he gets 10 to 12 right here. I was so fucking happy.
I'm looking around. No Jamal Adams at the end of the game here.
Is he not in the field?
I don't see. Oh no, there he is. Okay, I was going to say.
That would have been a storyline that we would have heard.
I thought he went out between plays.
Oh, yeah, there he is at the top of the screen. See, this is a great throw and catch, I think. Looks him off or just goes through his progressions. Great throw.
That's a great throw.
Great catch. I mean, you got a linebacker on Julian Edelman, so that's not... You're never comfortable with that.
That's a hard ask, yeah.
But, I mean, that's a Hall of Fame linebacker there. Man, if that's a little lower, that's a catch.
Yeah.
I forgot about this play. This should have been a touchdown.
And you can see from his release, look at where his hand ends up right here. It's a little... Exactly where his arm extends when he throws that ball is where it goes. Over the top of Edelman, out of reach.
Oh, wait. So you're saying in the throw itself?
Yeah, in the throw.
So let's watch it from this angle, and then we'll watch it from the last angle.
We're talking about Russell Wilson's hip placement in his hand where he's releasing the ball. Cam releases this high.
Okay.
And it goes high.
So I'm going to go slow here. Oh, you're talking about the where he releases the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Just watch when it comes out of his hand. He's not driving it down. It comes out at the top of his release, so it's going to go higher than a normal release.
That sucks, because that's a touchdown if it's a better throw.
Yeah, I think.
And it's not a bad throw. I mean, it's just a little high.
It's the result of him wanting to get it in there because Jamal was coming.
Yeah. But again, I mean, he did look through his progressions, and it was a good play overall.
Good read. Good communication here. They're setting up the defense really well.
Gets there. That's N'Keal Harry.
It's a game-saving tackle looking back at it. It kind of looks like he has the... N'Keal Harry might roll over the top of him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Still.
And then right here, is this the play? Well, no, it goes to third down, but...
Okay, but we can already see...
It's the exact same play. Exact same play we showed earlier. Oh, that was the final play. Yeah, it's because time ran out. I forgot about that. So what's different? Oh, it's exactly like what you said. They put two guys right here. They filled that D gap.
Watch where this tight end comes in. So he makes this D gap again. Watch this. I don't know who that is.
Linebacker right here?
Yeah. He anxious.
Flies.
He knows it's coming.
Yeah, he flies.
Takes on the tight end. That's what didn't happen the first go-around.
Yeah.
And the defensive lineman to the inside of the tight end ends up taking up that D gap. So
I think it's actually him that flies on the field. Yeah, we were looking at the wrong guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so he takes up that new D gap, and that's who makes the tackle. So before, they played it straight up, and the defensive lineman who was over that extra left tackle was trying to go through his face. So instead of going through number 71 there for the Patriots, he goes to his outside half. He knows that D gap's where the ball's going. He switches hands. The placement, everything, he knows where the ball's going.
Yeah. That's
incredible. That's good coaching on the sideline. That's a good adjustment. They give them the same look, the exact same look on defense. So Cam thinks the play is on. It's like they got that open D gap, the play's on, touchdown's there, I'm going to run it. Defensive lineman blows it up.
Blows it up.
That's great.
Yeah, they were playing that the whole way.